Hey, what's good everybody? This is your boy Said Banner and this is my review of She's Gotta Have It Season 1. Yeah, so it's no secret, Spike Lee is one of my least favorite directors and filmmakers of all time. A lot of people know that. I've been very vocal about it my whole life actually. He's been making films my entire life. This is his shot at a Netflix series. I was very interested in seeing how this would work out. It does come from his original film released actually almost 32 years ago. I turned 34 in less than a week, so I of course did not see the original film until years after it came out. And did not like it. I don't like most of his work, and mainly because his shooting style to me has always been too experimental in a way that's just more self-serving than anything else. I can almost see him behind the camera saying, hey, let's zoom in here on the character and have the background move forward. Oh, that's gonna kill him, you know. And it's like, it takes away from the film and it doesn't push the narrative 98.7% of the time. And a lot of people argue, oh, well, Malcolm X is a classic. Yeah, great film, but I don't give him all too much credit for that because the material was already there and he had Denzel. You know, Do the Right Thing, I'm good. Crooklyn, really. You know, Inside Man, that big overhyped piece of crap. Yeah, I hate this film, so I just wanted to make sure I got that out there first. I will say I thought it was very smart on his part to choose She's Gotta Have It to actually make into a series, being that the subject matter gave him a lot of material to work with and extend out over a season, and possibly there will be other seasons, I'm guessing. But there are some changes from the film here. I think some welcome changes, actually, believe it or not. What I will say about this series is that it's a work of art that's made to be interpreted. So my review here is going to be based solely on interpretation. I will say that the main character, Nola, is played by DeWanda Wilson. Stunningly beautiful woman. That helped me get through most of the season, I'll be honest. Stunningly beautiful, but her character was extremely annoying to me. And here's the thing, when I watch this series, it's about a woman who is what's called polyamorous, who is somebody who has multiple romantic relationships with people at the same time, simultaneously. So as you're watching this, of course, based on your point of view and your morals and your values, that's going to really determine your interpretation of everything that happens here. I will say that I watched it with an open mind. I really did. And what I'll say is, and this isn't spoiling anything or giving it away, basically she says towards the end of the season that she cares about all three of these men, and there's one woman involved as well. But she says that she cares about all of them, and this is just who she is, and they just have to accept that if they want to be part of her life. She's just wanting to be the person she is. Here's my interpretation and my problem with that. As you watch this season, you will see, or what I noticed is that it was all about her. This is the most selfish character one of the most selfish characters I've ever seen on screen. Everything revolved about what she wanted and how she felt things should go. And it was her way or the highway. And that's cool to a certain extent, but when it gets to the point where it's affecting other people's lives and you're demanding that they accept these crazy and outlandish lifestyle changes just to be with you because you can't make up your mind, well, you know, again, open interpretation, but to me that was very it was BS, honestly. Now, what I also loved about this season is that it took plenty of time to focus on each participant in this polyamorous relationship. The only one that did not annoy me was Jamie, and that's the character who is technically married but separated. He and his wife are separated yet still live under the same roof for the good of their son. He didn't completely annoy me. And I think it's because out of all three participants in that relationship, he's the one who was really trying to settle down. And it made me realize actually just how I already knew I was traditional and kind of old school in my thinking and my ways, but it made me realize just how traditional I am. And I thought that was actually very cool as a whole for this season, is that as if you watch this as a man, you'll probably find somebody to really relate to based on their morals and what they want out of life. And the way they view relationships. And like I said, Jamie was the guy that I definitely identified with. The second guy involved in this relationship was Greer. He's your metrosexual model, pretty boy guy. Couldn't stand him, annoyed the heck out of me. The thing was with his character, I couldn't really ever understand his issue and his problem with Nola and her lifestyle being that he himself was a free spirit. He got around. So I didn't really understand his whole motive for trying to settle down with Nola, honestly. And the third participant in the relationship, and the one who made me want to jump out the window several times, was Mars, played by, I believe his name is Anthony Ramos. So the actor did a great job playing the character because I could not stand him. He's the younger, more, I guess you would say, new school type guy. He was way over the top for me for 90% of the season. But what I will say, and I give Spike Lee great credit for this in his writing, is that as much as I couldn't stand the character, once we reached the end of this season, I really started to admire him because you start to see a lot of his moral fiber and what he stood for, and I thought that was cool. And I kind of identified with some of his, kind of carefree type attitude as well, and kind of go with the flow. So that was cool as well. Like I said, watching this as a male, you'll probably enjoy this just because you can identify with different characters in different ways. Watching this as a woman, you're either going to love Nola or you're going to hate her. Yeah. No, like I said, it's all based on interpretation with her, but watching it for myself, I thought her entire stance was BS. She called herself polyamorous, and she even says towards the end of the season that she cared for all three men. But I never really saw the care part. To me, it just looked like she wanted three different people to have sex with, honestly, and not have to worry about it, and want to force them to accept it. So yeah, I wasn't feeling Nola at all. Here I go again, giving a lot of credit to Spike Lee again. I'm not used to doing this, but with everything going on with Nola and her relationships, Spike Lee did a great job, I thought, of including current events into this series, into this season, and I thought that it really made it better. It actually intrigued me a lot. I binge watched the entire season in one afternoon on yesterday, and I did not plan on doing that, but I got hooked. So kudos to him for that. Great job. The one thing I absolutely could not stand, the soundtrack was great, but he did this thing where he cut away after every scene that had music and showed the album cover, the artist, and the name of the song. I don't know, and I tried to figure out what his goal was there. Couldn't figure it out. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and it took away from the series a lot, I think. Some people may appreciate it and may enjoy it. I tried to, once again, try to be open-minded and think about what he was trying to accomplish there or find the artistic side. I couldn't do it. Yeah, it was dumb. So, that's all I'm going to say about it. My rating for She's Gotta Have It Season 1 is, it's an actual work of art. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If you yourself are an artist, or if you, like myself, are someone who really appreciates art, I don't see how you could not enjoy viewing this season. And that's even if you watch this and say, I absolutely hated it, because art is meant to evoke emotions. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you angry, happy, sad, all of these things. And I felt like throughout this season that it actually caused me to feel several different ways. The first 3 episodes, I absolutely hated the main character and hated everything happening. By the end of episode 5, halfway through the season, I was fully intrigued and all the way in for the ride. I mean, it really felt kind of like a roller coaster for me to watch it. And I think that's what art is supposed to do. I feel like Spike Lee has attempted to do that several times in the past and failed miserably. I felt like he pretty much hit it on the head with this Netflix series. Can't believe I'm saying that. So yeah, that's what I got. I would love to hear from anybody else who's watched it or is gonna watch it and hear your interpretation. And I love to argue about it. This is the type of thing I like to do. So that's it for me. Until my next review.